All right. So today we'll be looking at what you guys have done. Yesterday, I shared with you documents for the grant writing and the proposal writing. I hope you all did something. Okay. I hope you did something with the documents I sent to you. Who did? If you did, say hello. Did you? Okay. All right. So first of all, I would want to answer some questions that were sent to me on the day of the training. Then after which I'll be taking your questions one after the other. Are we ready? Okay, good. All right, so I would want to know what particular place, before we start taking questions, I would want to know which particular place you have, you got so much understanding, and I want to hear your feedback about the grant writing and the proposal writing class. So if you want to give me feedback, I want you to raise your hand up and I'll be asking you to unmute, or I will unmute you one after the other, okay, so that you can talk. Is that okay? All right. Mojisola Idisha, can you unmute yourself so that I can hear you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mojisola.
Yes.
So tell me, give me your feedback from the class. Which particular class did you get something from? Is it the grant writing or the proposal writing? Let me hear from you.
For me, it's the grant writing.
Okay.
At least I got to understand what a grant is all about better. Because most NGOs, they do ask about grants. They talk about grants, but I really didn't have a good understanding about it. But now I understand what it's about, the table of contents, the summary, and everything. So that's it.
Okay, good. All right. If you are going to be having questions, I want you to prepare your questions, okay? And then I'll be taking your questions. You can ask the questions in the group chats, in the group. You can ask your questions in the chats. Then I will look at your questions and try to answer them one after the other. Okay, so the next person I'll be calling, thank you very much, Mojisola. Adedimeji Suleiman, please unmute yourself and let me hear from you. Is Adedimeji there? Okay, if you are not there, Juliet Onyekwere, please unmute yourself and talk to me.
Sorry, I'm not here to I know how I hope you will enjoy it.
All right, Juliet, can I hear you now? Juliet, please go ahead. Juliet Onyekwere. Okay, Solomon Friday. Solomon Friday, unmute your microphone and speak. Unmute your microphone, Solomon. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, go ahead. Speak, go ahead. Let me hear your feedback. What particular area of the lecture did you have issues with, or did you enjoy? Did you understand? I want to hear from you. Okay. I'll have to mute you then. Sikiru Babalola, are you there? Okay. If you cannot, Sikiru Babalola, I'm trying to get you to speak. Unmute your microphone and speak. Okay. Martins, unmute your microphone.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, that's the area I got to really understand is on this the components, elements of grant proposal writing.
Yes.
That way you talk about executive summary, the need statement, program activities, outcome, and data. It gives me a lot of insights. The time past, been trying to write some grant proposal, but honestly, how to start is usually a problem. You have idea, but how to put it down. So I really bless God for this training.
Okay.
Because it enlightens me a step-by-step way of starting from the title to the conclusion, and where you people need to seek for partnership.
Okay.
So sometimes we feel that we can do this thing on our own, but it's really opened my eyes that there's need for consultation of expertise, people that have done something like that before, to put us through. So it's a good one.
Okay,
so
great.
We are trying to put our ideas together and see how we can come up with one.
Okay, all right.
Thank
you. Yeah. Okay, I'll take one more person. Before we go into this. Okay, Princess Joy, please unmute your microphone.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really learned a lot from both the grant and proposal writing lectures. I now saw where I made a huge mistake last year, and I lost an Australian government grant that would have really touched so many lives. If I had the knowledge and experience I've gained from this training, perhaps I would have packaged my grant proposal differently and my NGO would have clicked that. But with the new knowledge I've gained, I now know how to strike the balance between the grant writing and the proposal itself and the budgeting, which was where I got them wrong. But
Yeah.
I really want to say thank you for this knowledge gained. I know I won't do any other proposal that won't scale through by
Amen.
the grace of God.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate all the knowledge gained.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all. Okay. So yeah, I'll be taking questions now. I'll be taking questions now. So if you have questions, you can raise your hand, but if you do not have questions, you can put your hands down. All right. So somebody asked me what it means to maintain adequate financial and operational structure. Now, it is very important for you to maintain your financial structure, especially if you run an NGO. Very, very, very important. Because if you do not, you will not be able to account for the grants. In fact, for the philanthropic giving that was meant for you to carry out projects, no matter how little the project is, you have to maintain integrity financially. It is a very, very important aspect of running an NGO as well as getting your next grant. Now, put for example, you are running an NGO that just started, but you are not keeping a track record of how you spend money. So the fuel you buy for your car, or to the fuel you buy for your generator, your electric bills, your printing bills, your administrative bills, every money you spend should be recorded, even if it is coming from your own pockets. You can term it, I'm trying to remember the word, you can term it owner's donation. You get, give it a name that looks as though you are actually borrowing it to the NGO or to the organization. You should never offhandedly use money and just keep it aside as though, okay, since it's my own money and it's my own NGO, you just spend anyhow. You don't do that. Because when you are putting together your finances, let me remind you, you should have a separate account in the name of your organization. It is very, very important that you do so as well. Have an account for that, okay? If you are having troubles with accounting, it is very important that you seek the advice of an accountant or of an auditor. Yes, because no man is an island, and you cannot do this alone. You just cannot do this alone. So just when you are thinking you know everything about running an NGO, you just can't, because at some point you'll be stressed out. Know your strengths. If your strength is in developing ideas, if you are a business developer, focus on that. When it comes to the financial aspects, when it comes to your budgeting, when it comes to your expenditure, take it to an account officer. Let the person do that for you, okay? Let every of your expenditure be accounted for, because when you are applying for the next grants, those expenditures and the revenues you made, it's all going to reflect in the next grant that you are applying for. It shows your level of integrity. I hope you understand that. All right, I'll be taking questions again. I hope that answers your question. Those who are asking for financial structure and operational structure, you can't do this on your own. I hope that answers your question. NGO is not a one-man thing. It's not you can start as a one-man thing, but you grow and then you learn to assign duties to those who have the skills to carry out those duties professionally. All right. And then if you spend money anyhow, this I'm talking from experience. I have seen organizations that did that and they could not be trusted with grants and projects anymore. And I know of one who is currently facing that challenge at the moment. Do not spend when money comes to you. Yes, for some organizations, 30% of the grants you get is for the running of your organization after you have carried out your project. You can now use the profits, the 30% of your profit, to now do some personal or your business organizational stuff. But you have to keep your reports. You have to record everything that you are doing. If you don't have reports to show how well you carried out your projects, if you don't do monitoring and evaluation, if you don't check well on this, if you don't keep these details, nobody will trust you to give you the next grant. All right, so let me see. I'm going to be taking some questions from you now. Okay. If you know you are not asking questions, please put your hands down. But if you are asking questions, you can leave your hands up, okay? Adejimeji Suleiman, I don't know if you are still asking questions, but please unmute your microphone and ask your question.
No, for now. I'm not asking any questions for now.
All right, so please put your hands down. Your hand is raised up. Please put it down. And Mercy Onejenu, unmute your microphone and ask your question, please. Mercy, are you there? Mercy Onejenu. You have a question? Okay, I'm seeing a question in the chat. What is the difference between grants and proposal writing? I would want you to go back to class. I don't expect that question here in this Zoom session, because a lot of time and effort was put into making that class for you. So when you go back to your materials in class, you can now understand the difference between the grants and the proposal writing, okay? So just know that, but in simple terms, grants is for getting monies for your organization, and it's somewhat like free money, you guys, but you want to use it to carry out a project. Proposal is you are selling your business. You are actually doing your business pitch in print. Okay, so you are selling your businesses for businesses. So when you are writing a proposal, although even NGOs write proposals as well, but when you are writing your proposal, you want to use it to bid for a project, or you want to use it to get the attention of a potential client. I hope that answers your question. All right, Didi, unmute your microphone and talk to me. Do you have questions? Didi, if you have questions, please talk to me.
Yes,
I hope you
hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is this. It has to do with a grant and a proposal, both at the same time, because I'm starting a project that has to do with the elderly, and so I need a grant to start it. But on the other hand, it could also pass for a business. So I'm wondering how I can do both together. Should I write one as a grant and write it again as a proposal?
So it depends on where you are writing it to. It depends on where you are writing it to. When you can identify your donor organization, you can now know if you are writing it, if it's open, if a grant opening, a grant invitation is open, you can now apply for it as a grant. Most donor organizations they have times or seasons where they open up to the public and asks for people to apply for grants. Okay, so you will see the questions they want you to answer. They most likely provide you a form, and then you can explain the particular projects you want to carry out for your particular organization. If your organization deals with the elderly, okay, and remember what I spoke to you about in class, that the donor organization is to have the same vision as your own NGO. If your ideas, if your vision do not align, there is no point applying for a grant with that organization, because they will either throw it aside, they will not take it seriously, because that is not what they want to put their finances into, that's not what they want to support. okay? Then at the same time, if you feel, oh, this organization you want, or this donor organization, they are quite big, and you feel that you can convince them to support your idea for the elderly, then you can write them a proposal. Do you understand the differences now? It's not like they opened up allowing for a specific grant type, okay? You feel that they'll be able to support this. You feel that you can sell your idea to them. So you are not applying for a grant, you are actually writing a proposal, soliciting for funding from them. Okay, I hope that answers your questions, Didi. All right, Deb, unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Very well, loud and clear, go ahead.
Oh, very well. Okay,
Yeah.
so my question is on organizations that are just starting, like you're just taking up from ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
Are there donor organizations that would give grants to those kind of organizations that are practically just beginning? That's one of my questions. Then on the second one of the things I picked in class concerning writing your grant and your proposal is the ability to be persuasive.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that ability to be persuasive is to be able to one of the key criteria there is to see how the donor will also benefit from the project that you're doing. I really need clarification on that, because if it is to carry out a project, sometimes I really don't see how remotely or immediately the donor can benefit from, say, for a community project, for instance, for teenagers. So I need some clarification on that area.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to answer your two questions. You want to know if a new NGO can get support, right? Of course you can get support. The document I shared with you is a grant application for at most 5 million naira. If you were in class, I shared a document with you. That is for 5 million naira, and it is meant for starters. Okay, so 5 million naira is enough for you to start a small project. As a beginner NGO, you do not expect to carry out a project that is bigger than your capacity, or your capacity that you are yet to discover. Not saying that you don't have capacity, you just might not have discovered the strength of your capacity. So it is best you start small. As an NGO that is just starting, it is advisable that you source for funds from people that you know, or people that you can reach out to, the network of your network. Reach out to philanthropists, write your proposal to them that you want to carry out so and so community program, okay? And then you go out there, you carry out, maybe you get up to 1 million naira. 1 million naira is enough for you to do something as an NGO. What is your idea? For example, you are focused on women and girls, all right? So you want to do an outreach, a community outreach to girls in rural areas, or girls in IDPs. You have 1 million naira. And then you can get some things. You can get pads, you can get hygiene kits. You put this together and you go there. It is not, sometimes it is not about what you actually went there to share. It is about the message that you are sending to that particular community. Okay, so you get these materials and you go there, and then you tell them about, you know, how to keep themselves hygienic, even in that poor environment, starting from their immediate habitat where they are living, how to keep it clean, and how to keep their own bodies clean as well. And then at the end of your teaching, you share them some booklets, you share them some pads and some hygiene materials. These are the things that you put on your social media platforms to let the world know that you have started something. You are pushing your vision. You are pushing your work, your humanitarian efforts as an NGO. And then you build on this, keeping the records of how much you spent. Okay, keeping the records of how much you spent, the names of those who worked with you, who volunteered to work with you, what is it called? The effect, the after effects of how this program went on, the response of how the people, the response of the people you reached out to. You have to put all these things in place. So you don't just get up and just go out there. You've got to do your homework. Okay, this is where your monitoring and evaluation comes in. As an NGO, you have to do your homework. So you don't just go out there and share some things and then you just come back and you said you've worked as an NGO. Because when you are starting up, these things matter. And then when you want to apply for a bigger grant later on, you can now put these things in your reports. You can now, these are the things that you can now use to explain yourself and your activities as an NGO. I hope I've answered your question. All right, Omotayo, okay. Am I missing something else about your question? Am I missing something else? Okay. If I'm missing something else, you can just type it in the chat and I will see it. Okay, so Omotayo Stephen, please unmute yourself. Omotayo Stephen, yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Ma. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, my first question is it possible to get grants for a project not associated with NGO? That's number one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Number two, without having an NGO for now, and with the CAC registration being expensive to an extent for some of us, how else can we access grants?
All right. So your first question is if it's not an NGO, whether you can access grants. Yes, there are government grants for businesses. There are grants for musicians, for artists. There are different grants out there. That is why I told you that Google is your friend. So whatever grant you want to apply for, you search for it. The results will come out. I know that CBN is giving grants to farmers and some small and medium enterprises right now. So those are grants. Even if you have to pay something little later on, maybe like return some of the money, it is something for you to upscale with. So it's a government grant. So it's not only for NGO, it's just that I've been focusing on NGO because of that, the grant writing. So whatever you are doing, I believe that there are grant opportunities for you to take advantage of. All right, and then yes, you can apply for grants that, yeah, you can apply for big grants as well, depending on the size of what you want to do and what you have done before. Okay, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next person is Babalola Jacobs Alero. Please unmute your microphone.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the session. I have three questions. The first one, I was just wondering in my mind, you know, the 30% which is supposed to be, that's in the proposal writing, the 30% of the funding, which is supposed to be for the organization and all that. I was wondering, do you need to do a nitty-gritty detailing of the spending of that percent? That is one question. Yeah. Then another question, there's always this question of sustainability plan. You know, like what happens, you know, after the funding, you know, what happens? So can you, as you begin to grow in your NGO and to begin to apply for grant, can you also to be putting some kind of budget in your proposal for sustainability plan? can it pass? That is another question. Then the third one, if there are opportunities for two proposals, that you can assess in the same organization, because maybe they put in a number of, opportunities, and you can actually assess the two maybe are linked to your project or your focus as an organization. Can you decide to apply for two at the same time, or it's wiser to apply for one at a time, especially if the two are linked?
Okay, so for your grants, what is it called? The 30% and the sustainability, they go hand in hand. Okay?
Okay.
They go hand in hand, because when you are applying for a grant, you should always have it in mind that the project has to be sustainable. It must be sustainable. Because there is no donor who would want to do a project that will die immediately the funds finish. Usually you are asked, how will it be sustainable when you are filling your grant form? So when the 30% is there for you to spend, you have to also, it's like running your business. Maybe very soon we'll do a class on that. It's like running your business, and then you add your profits to your capital. I hope you are understanding what you get what I'm saying, right? Yes. So whatever you have, it is not for you to squander, actually. It is for you to keep pushing, to keep working, and keep the organization running, so that it will not be as though, okay, there is no grant has finished, everybody, all your staff, go home. No, not at all. So you use what you have gotten to keep pushing, keep running activities that will make people see that, wow, you have integrity when it comes to sustainability and finances, and more will come to you. The beautiful thing about grants is that once a donor organization start giving you grants, they don't stop. When they know that you know what you are doing, they don't stop. When the next grant opportunity comes out, they personally email you. I don't know if any of you have experienced that before. They will personally email you and tell you, yeah, this thing is open, please apply, because they want to give it to you. Because they are saying, because when they are having their own meeting on what they have done for communities, it is your reports that they show in their meeting. And if you don't have integrity enough to keep your reports, to be accountable for the money that was given to you, they will not give you a grant again. So even with that 30%, keep pushing. All your reports, all your success stories, everything, keep them. Data management is very, very important when it comes to grant writing and running an NGO or a business. All right. So I hope that answers your question. I will move to the next question. Yeah. Maria Oluwabumi, please unmute your microphone and talk to me. Maria Oluwabumi. Are you there?
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please, though I typed my question on the chat board.
Okay.
I hope you are hearing me, ma.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
I said, somebody has asked the first question I asked, somebody asked that do they give a grant to business people? And you said, yeah, that Google can do that for us. Then the second one is, I think it's on the chat. I said, why do they ask for qualification? Because some grants will ask you your profile, your qualification. I'm not getting that aspect. Is it the qualification we got in school, or what qualification are they referring to? Thank you, ma.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let me add to the first one. There are sometimes grants are given to NGOs to help people in businesses. So a donor organization gives an NGO money to actually be a grant donor to people in businesses. Can you see the chain? Okay, so when you are running a business An NGO might call you and be like, okay, we are doing some SME scale-up training and one thing. And then you are taught on maybe entrepreneurship, access to finance. And at the end of your training, you are given a grant to support your business, which we don't require payback. So it works depending on what the NGO is doing. Okay, so instead of this donor organization to give you the grants directly, they will rather give it to an NGO who they know that would get all the reports and be very accountable. So while they are giving it to you, you see the NGO, the staff of the NGO, they are going, the team, the monitoring and evaluation team, they are going to your business place, finding out what you do, getting your media, getting media interviews and all that. All these things are for reports and data management. Okay, so you are getting grants, whether you are getting it from an NGO or whether you are getting it, there is grants for everybody. All right, so yeah. Sorry, can you repeat your second question again? It skipped me. Okay, I'll just move on to the next person then. Okay, Maria. Has Maria spoken? I think Maria has spoken before. And Baba Alhana Kogo. Okay. Okay, I don't think he's here. Adigun Kehinde, please ask your question.
Ma.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, I can hear you. Very well, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for this wonderful lecture. In fact, I've learned a lot since the day I joined yesterday. It has been wonderful. I was able to get something. But I have some questions which you have answered some from other students that really asked. Because I was been wondering that if I don't have an NGO, could it be that I cannot access grant for what I have in mind to do? I'm looking into the area of affecting life in the rural area, whereby the less privileged, one can affect them positively by assisting them in one way or the other. The poor children around that are running, especially because I'm in Abuja, so that we can also assist them to be better in life and even in the nearest future. So I'm asking, how can I persuade people for this grant? Because I may not have an NGO, I may not have an organization. How would they be able to believe or convince them that this is what I really have? Having written my proposal for that grant, how would they be able to find out that truly I'm being sincere and I needed it? How can I convince them so that the grant to assist them can be given unto me? And another question is that I want to find out where are the sources where grants can be sourced for, different grants. How can we get those areas where grant can be sourced for?
Okay, so yeah, how you can get where grants can be sourced from, all right? Use your Google, type it. You are doing grants for underprivileged girls, or grants for, depending on what you are, depending on the particular project you want to carry out. You get? Okay. Search for it using your internet for your area, and you will see it. You will see grants like that. Okay. Since you are a philanthropist who wants to carry out these things without having an NGO, it's fine. What you can do is partner with, there are different kinds of organizations, charitable organizations. You have the civil society organization, you have the non-governmental organization, you have the faith-based organization. So faith-based organizations are like just churches and stuff, okay? You can partner with them. This is what you want to do. Right, now this is a proposal. You can write to your church and tell them, this is what God has ministered in my heart to do, but I need support. Okay? And then write out in detail what you want to do, the objectives, follow the rules of that grant writing, and write out everything you want to do in details, the objective, the expected outcomes, everything, okay? And then you submit it.
Okay.
You have meetings with people who you feel can give you this money, okay? And then when the money comes in, carry out the grants and carry them along. They should be guests of honor. They should also wear jeans and t-shirts and go to those communities with you and carry out those projects together. You'll be surprised at the response you will get. Okay? All right. I'm sure I've answered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. ITLP 33. I don't know who you are, so you have to introduce yourself before you speak. So unmute your microphone. ITLP 33, where did he go? All right, I can't find him. So I'm going to John. John, okay. ITLP 33, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, so introduce yourself and ask your question.
Okay, I'm Pastor David by name. I'm from Jos.
All right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Are you hearing me?
Very well. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for this wonderful training. I've been following the platform since we started this class. The woman there's a particular lady she has already asked the question I wanted to ask about the link which we can get these donors from. Because even as you said, we should go to Google. Several times I've gone there, but you will discover that they will say the website is not accessible. You know, the website is not that accessible. I've searched a lot. Yes, I've searched a lot of Google things. So I discovered. So I now discovered that there might be a link where we can get access to such people that are interested in investing in the less privileged, in the life of the less privileged. You know, because most of the grants that are coming in Nigeria with
not at all. Nobody is going to put themselves out there and tell people that, oh, I'm sharing money, so if you want to come and ask me. No, nobody's going to do that. But if you go to websites like Funds for NGO, you should see grant opportunity, lots of them. I mean, lots of them. So Funds for NGO is a very good one in Nigeria here that works. So, yeah. Wait, John, let me finish with the pastor. So there are sites like websites like Funds for NGO and another grants website that actually show these things. So it depends on how you are searching. Maybe you are not using the right keywords in your search engine. But I mean, yeah, try that one. And then try that one, Funds for NGOs, and try similar sites like Funds for NGOs. You will see lots of grants.
Okay, sorry, Ma. Okay, Ma. Sorry, I would love to ask another question, Ma, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Another question I want to ask is, there was a particular email that was sent to me, and the person said, before I apply, before they will give me a link to any donor, I need to pay some percentage. So I want to know how true that is. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. She's like,
okay. I did not send you that one, no. I don't know those people. You are on your own when you go and pay somebody money. Well, there are some people who are professional. There are people who are professional grant writers, you get. And you have to ask them, you have to ask to see some of the works that they have done. You have to do a background check on them. Okay. So as part of their benefits, they will tell you to pay, they will tell you to writing that when you get this grant, you are going to give them a percentage of the grants. You have to put it in writing. But do the hard work by yourself. Because those people might lie a lot in the document. That it's good to have a consultant that you can talk to and a team it's good to do that. But the one that
Yes.
will send you an email
Yes.
and tell you to give them money before they can do anything, it is at your own risk. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
All right, so John Ochepo. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for the in-depth knowledge that you have given to us since this program started.
All right.
We are very my question is almost so similar to what the last person just said. I have, I am John Ochepo. I'm a missionary. And a couple of times, sincere people, well, I would say that because they have approached me and said, look, I know that you've been carrying out projects, medical outreach and all that, you will need money. There's a grant opportunity for you. All you need to do, send your name, your account details, and not too long from now, so amount of money will be sent to your account. And it has happened a couple of times. I will wait and wait and wait, nothing comes. I'll call the individual. I say, well, how far? Only to tell me that either one story or the other, or they've not gotten an update from the main donor. And that's the end of it. So this has really made me to be skeptical when somebody mentioned the issue of grant to me. So when the opportunity came to know more about how I can write for grant and also propose about myself, I really was happy about it. So I don't know. What the question is that, is there any way that one can really be so sure that social donor or grant companies or whatever are genuine? And why do people ask for certain percentage like that happen? You know, that if this money comes, so percent of that money will be taken out of it and you get the rest balance. Why do such things happen? It makes one to be skeptical about the issue of, is it a Nigerian factor or system?
It is just the greed in the Nigerian system. It's just the greed in the Nigerian system. Okay. And as I said before, those things are at your own risk. If you do your work, okay. Oh yeah, let me even put something into perspective. Yeah, it just came to me.
Okay.
As you run your faith-based organization or your non-governmental organizations, you are supposed to join associations that are into the same thematic areas as yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you are getting me. This is very, very key. If you have to write it down, you should write it down. There are associations of NGOs. You have NACTAL. They focus on trafficked children and all that. There are some, is this I've forgotten the name. This one are focused on education, providing free education to those in rural areas and all that. There are so many associations that focus on a particular thematic area. And if you know that this is where you function, this is the kind of work that you do, look for associations that are in that area. If you are doing people who returned from Libya, you get people who migrated and returned from Libya, who they have raped and all that. Visit places like NAPTIP and ask questions. Oh, how do we, is there an association I'm supposed to join? They will let you know. Okay, if you are doing women and children, visit the Ministry of Women Affairs. They will let you know these associations that you can join. And once you are in this association, you attend your technical working committee meetings. You attend your meetings where you have other organizations as yourself who are pushing this particular cause. Okay?
So by implication, you are saying that there could be also association for those of us that have the passion to carry out medical outreaches.
Exactly.
There could be.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So if you want to know, you can even visit the Ministry of Health and ask them. Because I've attended meetings where the Ministry of Health, they were part of the meeting, officials from the Ministry of Health. It was a migration meeting, you know, and when you are dealing with people who are returnees, deported people and all that, it's all part of migration. And then there are many of them who have been abused, who have degraded medically. So these are where you find people who are into these things, and then they gather. So you know more about them, you know the grants that come into this association, you know the funders that actually fund these associations. You get information from there. You don't get information from random people sending you emails that you should give them money and they will help you around. No, I will not advise you to do that. All right, let me quickly rush to the next person.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Engineer Emmanuel Yetsu. I'm not seeing your name completely. Engineer Emmanuel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you. God bless you. I was thinking I may not be able to be attended to. Actually, I've not been very privileged to attend because it coincides with a lot of things for me. So I've read through, and from what I've learned, I just want to ask a few questions. Some of them, some other people have asked. On the issue of new startup, you've clarified that we can also get grants. Then I also want to ask, in the grant application, they will want to know about you, like the executive summary. They want to know about you. Is it about your qualification or about your passion to do what you are doing? For instance, now, I'm an engineer, but I have passion for the less privileged, and I have an NGO on that. How does my qualification as an engineer influence or underestimate my ability to get the proposal? Then thirdly, in terms of equity funding. Now, if I have a project of about 10 million to fund, and I apply for a grant, and the organization is going to give me 20%, do they expect me to do an equity funding of 80% from myself? Because yes. I think I saw something like that in the proposal. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, so here's the thing. There are some grant organizations who won't give you full money. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, let me tell you this one. Even when you are applying for grants, many of them believe that you are supposed to be able to fund some parts of the project by yourself. Okay, so it's not like you are carrying a whole burden to put on some certain organizations. Okay, so they expect you to carry out some parts. All right. If this particular we are reaching out to 100 boys, 100 fatherless boys in the under the bridge, and then the materials they are going to give to the 100 fatherless boys, they provide for 80, and you are supposed to provide for the other 20. You understand what I'm saying? So not all of them will give you everything.
Ma'am, with you.
Yes, so it can be like that sometimes. Not all of them will give you everything. That's one. Okay. And sorry, did I answer your question?
My passion and my qualification.
Yeah, the qualification.
Yes.
So the qualification is they just want to get to know you. And the part where it says like executive summary doesn't mean qualification. As I said during the lecture, if you were in class, executive summary is something that you write last after you've written all the whole grants or all the whole proposal. That is when you go and do an executive summary. It is a summary of the whole idea, the whole thing that you have written. That is so that if they read your executive summary, they can understand everything that you want to do without really going through the whole details. Okay, that is the part for your executive summary. And then where you are asked to provide your qualification. Why? Provide it. They want to get to know you, right? What are you hiding? All right, I hope I answered your question, Engineer Emmanuel. Jane Francis Nwaodu. Jane Francis Nwaodu, yeah. Are you there? Jane Francis Waldo. Okay, I'll move to the next. Okay. Okay. So ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I must thank you so much for this wonderful lecture you've given to us. I'll be following the program. I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Reverend Sister Jane Francis. I work with physically and mentally challenged children.
All right.
But some of the people who have asked questions have asked the same question I wanted to ask, where and how you can apply for grants. And also, can grants be applied to individuals, philanthropists, or must it be an NGO that you will apply for grants?
Yeah, I believe I've answered those questions already. But since you are working with physically and you said mentally challenged children, since it's
Yes,
children generally, have you written to UNICEF? Have you introduced yourself to UNICEF before?
No, no.
Then you need to write to them, let them get to know you.
Okay.
Yes, so pick out organizations that you feel handles cases of children. They are focused on children. Donor organizations that focus on children. Write a letter of introduction to them. Okay, talk about yourself.
Some of my children have grown to adults because the children I work with, they don't have home. They are being thrown away because of their deformity. They are being abandoned because of their deformity. So we take care of them from child. Some of them have grown to adulthood.
Yeah, that you are doing a very good humanitarian service, and I commend you for that. I really, really commend you for that. So I think what you need to do now is to introduce yourself to organizations that do this, that fund such projects. Okay, so that when you are attending meetings, that is the power of associations. So that when you are attending meetings and all that, they can recognize your work and want to work with you directly. All right. So take advantage of that. When you have children like that, do videos. Let them tell their stories and keep their. So it's not for them to tell. If they want you to share their story, it's fine.
I put them on Facebook, and the individuals who help us too.
Yeah.
On my Facebook page, I do post them.
Yes, you are
some
doing
of the individuals come to our aid too.
Yeah. So I want you to do more by introducing yourself to organizations. Send a letter of introduction. Ask for what you need. You want support, you want technical support, you want financial support, whatever it is you want, to write it there. Introduce yourself, how long you have been working. Do something, okay?
Okay, yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, I will take the last question for today because it's late already, so that some of us can go. I can see a lot of hands, okay? Don't worry, we'll have such session again next time. All right, this training would be recurring, and then you'll be able to ask more questions. Okay, but I hope you all have learned something today. I'm going to take one more question. One lucky person will take, I'll take one more question. Okay, and then to show that you are a part of this training, it would be of great benefit to you to pay for your certificates and put it on your social media platforms that you are trained in grants and proposal writing. It will also give you that edge to know that these people, that is such a person who is applying for this grant has actually been trained. The person is acquiring knowledge. It's not just a random person. So I think you should do that. Make sure you get your certificates as well and post it on your social media platforms. Okay, so one more person. Who will that person be? I only pick a person that I'm seeing the person's face and the person is smiling. So if I'm not seeing your face and you are not smiling, I'm not going to pick you. All right. Okay, now I'm seeing a lot of smiling faces. All right. Okay, I'll pick two. This Jacob and Martins. Martin, she's wearing a yellow bubu, I think, and Jacob is wearing, is he a jogger? Something. All right, Jacob, unmute yourself. Jacob, go ahead. Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm calling from Jos. I'm a lecturer. So the platform I'm on, sorry, I got into the meeting a little bit late, or very, very late. So I really didn't get to hear the lecture, but my question is, the platform that I'm on, they sent materials and I went through it and I just had some issues and I was thinking during the course, maybe I could ask the question.
Okay.
There is a section on checklist.
Checklist, okay.
Yes. So
yeah.
there are some items there that I don't understand. Like use a call to action. I don't know what that is. Include upsell and add-on opportunities. Create a sense of urgency. Make the decision for them. Yeah, and then quality control.
Okay,
I really didn't understand this item.
that is you are talking under proposal writing. Okay?
Yes, proposal writing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so when it says use a call to action is simple if you've not heard of that before. Call to action is this. If you would like, it's a sentence. If you would like to have, for example, if you would like to have a one-on-one meeting with us, you can put that as a sentence at the end of your proposal. I will be available to you to do a presentation or something. Please call me at your convenience. So you are telling them to take an action based on what you have based on what you have submitted. So you don't submit a proposal and don't expect anything. So it is an indirect expectation that you are awaiting a reply for. That is a call to action. You want them to do something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I understand.
An activity to do. That is a call to action. Those who do social media would understand me. You post something online and something about your organization, and you put at the end of the organization, for more information, or if you know somebody who needs such service, please call so number after you've posted one thing about your activity. That is a call to action. Okay. So
okay.
When I say when I said include upsell and add-on opportunities, fantastic. Now you have written your proposal and all that. Are there extra services that will be of benefit to them? That is not the like the original, or what should I put it? It is not the main thing of what you are writing in the proposal, but you are saying as an extra benefit, you will get so and so. Do that. Okay, so that is what you put there.
Sorry, but won't that be in the SWOT analysis?
No, you can just put it somewhere. Just find a place to put it. It is not what you are actually selling. You are only saying, okay, this proposal, if you work with us, okay, if you take this, if I carry out this project for you, okay, here are some other things that you stand to benefit. But remember, those things that they stand to benefit is actually not your value proposition, okay? It's not what you are actually selling in the proposal, all right? It's just an extra customer benefits. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Then what else did you, I said make a decision for them, create a sense of urgency. Yeah, those are the things you do. Make sure that the proposal you wrote creates a sense of urgency. I don't know if you people know how to do business pitch. The best way to sell your business pitch is to create a sense of urgency. You turn, what should I call it now? You turn the threats into your opportunities. Okay, why do they need, like somebody saying, you are selling neon lights. Okay, you are selling neon lights, and you are saying, do you know that because there's no neon lights in this whole building, everybody can die if there's a fire? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Yes. You are doing your business speech now, and then you are in front of people and you tell them, I've looked at this building, and do you know that once there's a fire, everybody can die? And they are like interested, and they're like, why? Then you now bring up your business idea. I sell neon lights. So this neon light shows you where the exit is, where the fire, yes. So those are what you are selling. So create a sense of urgency why they need to actually fund your proposal. That is what I'm talking about there. Okay. So
Okay.
I want you to just go back and study these things. This checklist, take some time and study more. Pick them one after the other and study it. Okay. All right. Because of time, let me take the last person. Thank you. Martins with the yellow dress.
Thank you very much. I think the question I wanted to ask you, that is the question you skipped from the other woman.
Okay.
That said, is it academic qualification or your personal experience? That's my first question. Then the second one, when I was going through advantages of business proposal, I saw I saw RFP. I couldn't get the full meaning. RFP.
Okay, so do you know what? I wanted to do a test for you people before, but I thought that this is a proposal and grant writing class. There is no need for you people to test. If I had known, I would have put that test together. You should write that, because I've seen that you will not pass it. You will just not pass it. I've just seen it there. Yes, because the meaning of RFP was there. Before you see any abbreviation, the full meaning would have come first. So you did not read. It is clear that you did not read.
No, no, I read it now. It said that the advantages of business proposal, it helps you to make realistic decisions, secure funds, and all that.
That is what I'm saying. You need to go back to the materials and read it slowly. The meaning of RFP is there. It means request for proposal. It is just there. You jumped and passed. That is it. Although I like your dress, but you just jumped and passed. Go back.
Thank you.
Go back and read.
Request for proposal.
Yes. Exactly.
Someone has texted itself.
Exactly. That's very good. I see that you all are following. All right. So we'll call it a night. Okay. We'll call it a night. And
it's a wonderful time.
And then I want you all to go back, read the materials again. Once they put it out there for your certificate, make sure you get your certificate and show it off. I want to see how many of you got your certificate. Show it off. Let me see.
Finally, madam, can we send proposal for review before submitting to you?
Do you know that you have over 1,000 people here? And all of you want to kill me with your proposal. Write your proposal. Write your proposal, okay? Then if you have questions that you don't understand, you can send it. Maybe if I have the time, I will check, okay? Because I also have a lot of work to do as well. So write your proposal, and if you're having one or two challenges, I might go over it and check, or I might charge you for consultation. Anything is possible.
No problem.
All right, then. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for such a wonderful time. It was so much fun hanging out with all of you. I'm glad that you enjoy. I'm glad that you enjoyed this this training. Okay, so we call it a night. All right, and then look to your groups for more information. All right, for more information. So I'd like you all to unmute your microphones and tell me good night.
Good night.
Good
Thank you
night.
so much.
Good
Good night.
night.
Bring good packaging.
Good night.
Nice.
God bless you.
Good night.